Are these slides visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We would be starting in another 2-3 minutes. Let others also join the class.
Okay. क्लास के शुरू ये तो क्लास ज्वाइन हो गई एग्जिट कैसे करें एग्जिट कर दो उसमें करने की जरूरत
Still only 40 students have joined the class. Okay, so we would be starting with the topic. So we were continuing with the topic we were doing about the important scope and the distribution of medicinal plants. Okay, so today we would be studying about the aromatic plants. What are aromatic plants? What is their scope? What are their distribution? Why they are important? I hope all the about the medicinal plants that lecture is clear to all of you. All these things that we have discussed in the class. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we were here about the aromatic plants. So, okay, who will read? Johnny or Nohoro?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
there? Okay. Just open your webcam. Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. I'm able to see the slides, but there's a technical glitch, I think, so ma'am, I'm not able to open the camera.
Okay, you just read this slide. Okay.
Aromatic plants. Some plants are endowed with an aroma characteristic, and therefore, aromatic plants are so called due to the distinct fragrance or odor.
Yes. So, why the aromatic plants are so called? Because they contain the characteristic aroma. Okay, that gives a distinct fragrance or the odor to that particular plant. So, why can anybody tell me why the aromatic plants they give a distinct odor or fragrance? Any idea why the aromatic plants give that odor? जैसे जैस्मिन का है प्लांट या लेवेंडर है okay yeah there is a mint plant, so why these plants they give a characteristic odor?
Ma'am, because they contain secondary metabolites.
Secondary metabolites, right? But what type of secondary metabolites are present?
Some alkaloids.
No, they contain essential oils. Okay,
Sorry.
due to the presence of the essential oils, and these essential oils are also volatile in nature. Volatile, you understand what is the meaning of volatile? Volatility, that is they are able to evaporate even at room temperature. So that's why due to the presence of these essential oils, and these are being volatile in nature, so they give a distinct fragrance or the odor to the plant. Okay, so this is the main difference between the medicinal and the aromatic plants. The medicinal plants do not contain the essential oil, whereas and they do not emit out any characteristic odor due to because the essential oils are absent. But aromatic plants they do. Now there is one plant which is considered both as a medicinal and both as an aromatic. It's a very common plant which is commonly being used in our homes. It is also being worshipped. Can you name that plant? Yes.
तुलसी.
Yes, tulsi. तो तुलसी का जो है लीव्स में से ऑयल भी निकलता है because it contains the tulsi oil or the basil oil. So it is being considered उसकी medicinal value भी है. So it is being both medicinal and aromatic. Okay. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Continue. Continue reading the slide.
Aromatic plants. Aromatic plants, also known as herbs and spices, have been used since antiquity and as folk medicine and as preservatives in food. The best known aromatic.
Yes. Is there any network issue from your end, Johnny?
Yes, ma'am. There is a technical glitch actually, ma'am.
Okay. You just mute your mic. I'll ask someone else. Joesh Sahu.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And open your webcam and just read.
Aromatic plants, also known as herbs and spices, have been used since antiquity as folk medicine and as a preservatives in food. The best known aromatic plants such as oregano, rosemary, sage, anise, basil, etc. originate from Mediterranean Sea. They contain many biologically active compounds, mainly polyphenolics, which have been found to possess antimicrobial, antioxidant, antiparasitic, antiprotozoal, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory properties. Currently, the demand for these plants and their derivatives has increased because they are naturally eco-friendly and generally recognized as safe products.
Okay, so this slide generally tells about why the aromatic plants are important now, because they have so many, they contain many biologically active compounds. Okay, like particularly the polyphenols, they are chemically polyphenols in nature, and these have a variety of biological activity, like it is mentioned, and that is they inhibit a variety of bacteria, antimicrobial activity. Then they have antioxidant, anti-parasitic. They also inhibit the growth of many parasites, protozoans, fungus. Okay, and besides this, they also have the anti-inflammatory properties. So because of these so many biological activities of these aromatic plants, there is a increased demand for these plants. And the other advantage is that they are, since they are natural, they don't have any side effects, they are eco-friendly, and they are also being recognized as the safe products. So some examples of these aromatic plants are given here, like oregano, rosemary, sage, anise, basil is your tulsi. Okay, and we would be studying about the other aromatic plants. Like these plants are not in your syllabus in detail. The other aromatic plants are citronella, lemongrass, palmarosa, geranium, vetiver. Okay, so these are all the aromatic plants, jasmine, lavender. Okay, so these are some of the aromatic plants. Okay, just go ahead, Joish.
Ma'am. Aromatic plants. Aromatic plants are form a numerically large group of economically important plants. There is increasing demand for essential oils, aroma, chemicals, drugs, and pharmaceutical in the world market. Aromatic compounds are present in plants, that is in root, wood, bark, foliage, flower, fruit, and seed, etc.
Yes, so these aromatic compounds, they are present in various parts of the plants. Like they can be present in the roots, like for example in the vetiver. If you have heard about the khas, vetiver is the khaskhas. Okay, so the vetiver oil is extracted from the roots of this plant. Then the wood में bark में जैसे कई बार होता है, like cinchona bark is being used, but it is a medicinal plant like cinnamon. Cinnamon is a good example where the bark is being used to extract the cinnamon oil. Then foliage is your leaves. Okay, so leaves में से जैसे geranium है, तुलसी है, उसकी leaves में से oil निकलता है. या फिर पचौली है. Pacholi is also one aromatic plant whose leaves are used to extract the oil. Then flowers में से तो जैसे rose oil है. Okay, and the other geranium maybe flowers कुछ परसेंटेज में ऑयल होता है, तो इस तरीके से लैवेंडर है. ओके, सो देन फ्रूट्स एंड सीड्स बेसिकली स्पाइसेस में होता है, जो जितनी भी क्यूमिन है, एनएसई है, सौंफ है. ओके, सो दीज कंटेन द ऑयल. So you would be coming to know when we would be studying about the aromatic plants in detail, each and every. So this is just an introduction. Okay. Okay, now I'll ask Harshita Kothari. Harshita, am I audible to you? Harshita? I think there's some problem. Gyan Prakash?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just open your webcam and just read it.
Okay, ma'am. Am I visible?
No, not yet.
I think, ma'am, some network issue, that's why.
Yeah. Now, it's okay. You're visible. Just
okay,
read
ma'am.
it.
Out of nearly 450,000 species known to mankind, about 2,000 species which come from 60 botanical families contain essential oils. The families Spinaceae among the gymnosperms, Epicacea, Mitracia, Rutaceae, Lucrezia, Laminaceae,
Laminaceae. Hmm.
yes, ma'am, Asteraceae, Poaceae, Arcacia, Zinbersia, and
Hmm.
Amaryllis, among the angiosperms account for a large number of plants bearing essential oil of the commercial importance.
Yes. So, like as we studied about the families of the medicinal plants, if you remember in our last lecture, similarly the families have been mentioned, which they generally contain majority of the aromatic crops. Okay. So amongst them, the gymnosperms like Apiaceae family, Myrtaceae, Rutaceae, Lauraceae, Lamiaceae, Asteraceae, all these are the dicots. So, and the other families are Poaceae, Ericaceae, Gingiberaceae, and Amaryllidaceae. So, these are the monocots. Okay, so basically, it has been found that the aromatic plants generally belong to these families, and out of nearly 450,000 species which are known to the mankind, out of them only 2000 species have been found to contain these essential oils. उसमें से भी around 60 families जो हैं उसपे से majorly जो है aromatic plants, they generally belong to those families. Okay, continue. Gyan.
The volatile oil occur in a varied part of the plant anatomy, in the some cases being found all over the plant body, in other being restricted to one special portion of the plant. Thus, in a coniferous, of which the pine is a type, volatile is found all over the various parts, whereas in the rose, the oil is confined to the petals, in the cinnamon to the bark and the leaves, in the orange families safely to the flower and the peel of the fruit, in aromatic grasses and the mints to the leaves, in cumin, fennel, etc. in the seed, and in the vetiver in the roots. In the plant, these essential oils are produced in a specialized glandular cells. In the case of the leaves and the petals, the essential oil are contained in the innermost membrane of the cell wall in the parent, uh, parenchymatous tissue. In other plants, they accumulate as protein drops in the protoplasm or in the separate cell cavities.
Yes. So this slide basically shows tells us about what is the location of the essential oils in the plant. So there are specialized organs in the various parts of the plants which contain the essential oils. Okay. So in some cases these oils or essential oils, they are found all over the plant body, while in other cases they are restricted to only one special part of that plant. So there is given an example, like it's written, like in the conifers, if you remember, there is a pine tree is a type of a conifer. Okay, there the volatile oil is found in throughout the various parts of the plant. While in the rose, you know that the oil is present in the flower petals. Okay, and in cinnamon, that is the dalchini, I have already told you, the oil is present in the bark of the plant, and even in the leaves. But majority, the bark contains the predominant amount of the oil. While in the orange family, that is the citrus plant, okay, the oil is present in the flowers and also in the peel of the fruit. So if you just take out, if you have experience, you are eating the oranges or mosmi, so you can see the peel when you just peel out it, there's a strong odor. So that is because they contain this orange citrus oil. Okay, and in aromatic grasses, like I mentioned, like lemongrass hai, palmarosa hai, vetiver hai, mentha hai, that is a mint. So they are present in the leaves. The oil is present in the leaves of the plant. और जो seeds है, जैसे ये cumin है, it is a spice. Cumin and fennel. Cumin का आप बता सकते हो what is the common name? Cumin and fennel.
Ma'am, Zira and Sof, I think.
Yes, जीरा एंड सौंफ. सो जितने भी सीड्स हैं, स्पाइसेस हैं, बेसिकली उनकी सीड्स में ऑयल होता है. इसी वजह से these are being used as a seasoning in food because they contain the essential oil that gives a characteristic or a particular aroma to the food. Okay, and in vetiver, like khas, I told you, the oil is present in the roots. So in the plant, the essential oils, they are produced in specialized glandular cells. There are certain specialized glandular cells. Particularly, there is one organ called trichomes. Okay, so the trichomes are the oil bearing organs. Okay, and in the case of the leaves and petals, the essential oils, they are present in the, there is an innermost membrane of the cell wall. If you remember the structure of the cell, there is outer is the cell or the inner plasma membrane or the innermost membrane. So it is present in the parenchymatous tissues. And while in other plants it has been seen that they generally are present as a floating drops in the protoplasm. There is no specialized organ, but they just are present as a drops. They keep on floating in the protoplasm of the cell. Okay, and like in orange, there are separate cell cavities inside the cell, that is the parenchymatous tissue. So these are present in those portions. Is it clear to all of you where is the essential oils are present and they're produced? If it's not clear, you can ask. Shall I move to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Okay, now I'll ask Dipanshu. Dipanshu, am I audible to you? Dipanshu is not there. Okay. Divyansh Mishra. Divyansh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just open your webcam and just read the slides.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Hello,
you are not
Divyansh.
audible. Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are.
Okay. And can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just read this slide.
The world's total production of essential oil is. Yes, ma'am. Wait for a second. Oil is estimated at about 1 lakh to 1,10,000 ton, and India stands third with a share of 16 to 17%. In value terms, again, India's position is number 2, and its share is 21 to 22%. And this is because of the mint revolution in North India. Brazil, with its production of citrus oil at 40,000 ton, is the largest producer of essential oil in the world. However, it shares a value terms of 90%, while USA is the largest producer and consumer of essential oils. Most of the essential oil produced are marketed within the country. Also, many of them are exported. These oils are very expensive and earn good revenue in terms of foreign exchange.
Yes, so this is just about the what is the world's total production of the essential oils and what is the position of India. So particularly the India is the major exporter of the mint oil in throughout the world. It is at number 1. So this is because there was a mint revolution in North India. It is being cultivated on large scale in the areas of eastern UP. If you will go towards the sides of the Lucknow, Barabanki and those areas, you can see there are so many mint farms. Farmers are basically cultivating this mint crop. Okay. And Brazil is the major producer of the citrus oil. It is the largest producer of the citrus oil in the world. Okay, now I move to the next slide. Okay, just continue, Divyansh.
Yes, ma'am. The export of perfumery product from India has risen to 360.28 crores during 2001 to 2000 to 2001. India also imports some of these items worth nearly rupees 265.58 crores annually. Among the essential oils exported from India are Japanese mint oil, peppermint oil, sandalwood oil, jasmine and tuberose, concrete, and many other natural and synthetic perfume in small quantities. Beside menthol or attars, all kinds, red sandalwood powder, synthetic camphor, thymol, pepper oil, ginger oil, Dawana oil and spearmint oil are also exported. India also imports a variety of essential oils such as geranium, aniseed,
Geranium, aniseed.
patchouli, orange, lavender, nutmeg, uh, peppermint, citronella or java, or synthetic essential oil, etc., along with many other natural and synthetic perfumes.
Yes. So this shows like the export, the figures are given for the export of the perfumery products from the India, and what are the India also imports some of these essential oils from other countries. And like I told you, like India is the major exporter of these mint oil. So mint oil is, there is a one variety that is called the Japanese mint. That is the Mentha arvensis. It's in your syllabus also, so you could be studying in detail about the mint plant. So Japanese mint oil, then peppermint is also a type of a mint. Okay, and then sandalwood, you know, jasmine is another aromatic plant whose flowers are being used for to extract the oil. Tuberose is another aromatic plant whose flowers are being used to in high grade perfumery. Okay, so these oils, they are produced either naturally, and because these are expensive, so they are also, their synthetic derivatives have also been produced. Okay, besides menthol, this menthol is obtained from the mint oil. Okay, so menthol is actually the active constituent which is present in this Japanese mint oil. And others are the essential oils. Okay, like Muslims, you must have heard the use of the others. So these are also the concentrated essential oils. Then red sandalwood powder, synthetic camphor, thymol, pepper oil, ginger oil, davna oil. These are all the names of the aromatic plants. And spearmint is again the type of a mint variety. So these are all exported by India. And they also imports, now India also imports, there are a number of plant essential oils that have been mentioned here, like geranium की ये characteristic है खास बात कि जो इसका oil है that resembles as rose, जैसी rose की order होती है rose oil की, इसकी वैसे ही होती है, तो that's why it is being used as a cheap substitute for the in place of the rose oil, in fact as an adulterant, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा cheap होता है, rose oil expensive होता है, so geranium is being used as a cheap substitute for the rose oil. Then anise is the another seed. It's a type of a spice which is being used in the Mediterranean countries. It generally belongs to the parsley family. Then patchouli is again the aromatic plant. इसका oil जो है, it is being used as a fixative. Patchouli bhi, I think it's being in your syllabus, so you would be studying in detail. Then orange hai, lavender hai, nutmeg is your Javitri and Jaifal. You must have heard about the Jaifal and Javitri. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then peppermint is a repetition. Then citronella, Java. Java is again is another variety of citronella that is commonly known as the Java citronella. Okay, so these oils and their synthetic versions are also available. Since these are very expensive, so their synthetic perfumes or derivatives have been prepared, and these are being used in the flavors and the perfumery industry. Now the next this picture shows the projected demand of the essential oils for the natural cosmetics or the personal care sector. So you can see that the graph is being indicated where the demand is being shown of the essential oil from the year 2010 to 2022. So there is a continuous increase in the demand as it is being depicted from this graph. Then another graph, it again shows the use, what is the demand for the essential oils in the aromatherapy or in the herbal therapy. So again, you can see the graph, it's in 2010, it was around the demand around 5,000 metric tons, and it is being on a rise, and it is being projected like in 2022 the demand would increase to around 1,500,000 metric tons. So there is a tremendous opportunity in this sector of medicinal aromatic plant sector. Then we come to the market potential of the aromatic plants. Okay, now I'll ask Chunchu. Have I named spelled the name correctly?
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, hello. Chunchu, have I spelled your name correctly?
Oh, ma'am, it's Kartikeya. Kartikeya.
Okay, Kartike. Okay, Kartike, just can you see the slides?
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible,
Hello.
Kartike.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Okay, Kartike, can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just read it.
Projected demand of essential oils for natural
No,
cosmetics.
no, we are on market potential of aromatic plants. Slide number 34.
Wait, ma'am.
Slide number 34. Market potential of aromatic plants.
Oh, ma'am. I'm getting. Wait, ma'am.
We are waiting for
Yes.
download. You are downloading slides. Just
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Market potential of aromatic plants.
yes.
I have to read and 4 slides, ma'am. 4 points.
Yes.
In worldwide flavor and fragrance market, essential oils constitute about 17%. The estimate of world production of essential oils varies from 40,000 to 60,000 tons per annum. The demand for spice oils is placed at 2,000 tons per annum. Out of a total of about 1,500 species of aromatic plants, information of only about 500 species is known on the chemistry and properties of essential oils.
Okay. So there should be no problem in this slide. It's being mentioned that there are around 1,500 to 2,000 species actually of the aromatic plants. And at present information, we have the information about the only 500 species. We know about the chemistry and property. So there are so many species of aromatic plants that are still not being explored. Okay. Okay. You just read this importance also, Kartike.
Okay, ma'am. Importance of aromatic plants. Aromatic plants produce essential oils, perfumes, and flavors are in use with our civilization since several thousand years. They are used in cosmetics, soaps, pharmaceutical preparation, pharmaceutical preparation, perfumery, confectionery, ice cream, aerated waters, disinfectants, agarbatti, etc. Some of the important aromatic plants like lemongrass, citronella, palmarosa, vetiver, geranium, lavender, rose, etc. have great demand in our country. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Kartike. So these are some of the importance why they are in which areas they are being used. So basically, the aromatic plants and the essential oils they are being used in the perfumery and the flavor industry, and in cosmetics, soaps, pharmaceutical preparations, confectionery, ice cream as flavor enhancers, aerated waters, disinfectants. Also nowadays, disinfectants they are being used. They use the citronella or lemongrass oil because they are having the antibacterial activity. And agarbattis also, like if you have heard in the market nowadays, the mosquito repellent agarbattis are available. So these agarbattis are being prepared by using the aromatic plant oils, basically the lemongrass and the citronella oil. Their oils they have the mosquito repellent activity. So what they do is they use the agarbattis and they prepare the agarbatti, the dummy agarbatti, and they dip into these oils, either of the lemongrass or the citronella, and these are then dried and then they are being sold as mosquito repellent agarbattis. Okay, so these are some of the applications of the aromatic plants, and the names of some aromatic plants are also given. Okay. Yes, now I'll ask Bhumi Sharma. Bhumi, am I audible to you? Bhumi? Bhumi, just unmute your mic. You are not audible, Bhumi.
Hello.
Yes, Bhumi. Am I audible to you? I think there is some network problem. Okay, Jaya. Jaya,
Yes, ma'am.
are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Okay, Jaya. Okay, can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. I can see the slides.
Okay, you just read the slide. Importance of aromatic plants only.
Okay, ma'am. Importance of aromatic plants. Aromatic plants yield essential oils, which are variety of applications in perfumery and pharmaceutical industries, like uses in flavors, disinfectants, oral hygiene, tobacco, pharmaceuticals, etc. They are adjuncts of cosmetics, soaps, pharmaceuticals, perfumery, confectionery, ice creams, aerated waters, disinfectants, tobacco, agarbattis, and a whole host of related products. Use of essential oils in therapeutics is becoming popular in Japan and European countries.
Yes, so there's nothing to explain much in this. We just continue reading this.
Okay, so aromatherapy involves the use of essential oils and aromatics derived from plants to cure diseases. Some of the essential oils are reported to be in many ways better than antibiotics due to their safety and wide spectrum of activity. Thus, because of a large spectrum of usage in the everyday life of man, the essential oil and aroma industry has a bright future.
Yes. So I think this must be clear to all of you. Aromatherapy is now being commonly being used in where the essential oils are used to cure certain diseases. Okay, so the massage or the aroma, various aroma chemicals are being used in the parlors, also in the massage parlors. Okay, so these are the importance of the essential oils, and because they are having the antimicrobial activity, they are able to inhibit wide range of the bacteria and the fungi, and they don't have any side effects also. So therefore, they are being considered better than the antibiotics because of their increased safety and efficacy. Okay, now there are certain constraints in the aromatic industry. So why the our country is lagging behind in the production and the cultivation of the aromatic plants? So there are certain factors that we would be looking. Okay, you continue, Jaya.
Okay, ma'am. So, following are the constraints. First one is, according to one estimate, against the world trade of rupees 11,900 crores, the Indian share is only 2%. This clearly indicates that the rate of growth of these crops in relation to their economic prospects is not at all satisfactory. Perhaps inefficient organization, lack of research, and unplanned exploitation of natural resources, failure to grow them on a large scale, inferior methods of production, malpractices, and adulteration are some of the reasons for present poor state of affairs.
Yes, yes. Okay, Jaya, thank you. You read very good, very nicely.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so these are certain constraints that, like it's been mentioned, a figure that against there is a total world trade of these aromatic plants. It has been estimated to be around 11,900 crore rupees, and you can just see that the India share is so small, only around 2%. So there is a tremendous potential in this area just to opt out the cultivation of these medicinal and aromatic plants. Particularly, this is related to the aromatic plant industry. Now, what are the certain factors that have been identified is that in India, particularly, there is no proper guidelines given for the, there is no proper organization which can just guide the farmers and just create the awareness about the growing or cultivating these aromatic plants. There is a lack of research, not much research has been done where we would be able to find out or identify the aromatic plants with what type of biological activity is being present, so that they can be used in a variety of areas. So there is unplanned exploitation of the natural resources also, since the cultivation is not done on a large scale. Only there are few aromatic plants which are being grown on a large scale, so they are still, and there is a requirement of there's a increased market demand of these plants. So what people are doing, they are just harvesting from the wild sources. So if we will continue to harvest the plants from the wild sources, so at a time will reach where all these plants will become distinct, or they would be reached at a verge of the extinction. Okay, so it's very important that we should just become aware, and we should just focus in this area. And they follow, many of these farmers or the producers, they don't have any proper agro technology to be followed, so they practice the inferior methods, so the yield is also low, and there are so many malpractices and adulteration is being done. So these are some of the major reasons why there is a lack, or there is a poor growth in this sector of aromatic plants. Okay, now Jyoti Chauhan. Jyoti, am I audible to you? Jyoti? Okay, Jyoti Malik.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jyoti, can you see the slides?
No, ma'am. Slides are not visible to me. Only black screen is visible.
You're not able to see any of the slide till now?
No, ma'am. No. Maybe because I'm using mobile data today.
I don't know, but mobile also you can see the slides.
Ma'am, it is not visible to
Okay.
me today.
Okay, then Kajal Pandey.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you see the slide?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, just open your webcam. Yes, now you can read it.
Yeah, okay. It is unfortunate that with almost all types of climate and soil existing in our vast country, the possibilities of raising large-scale plantation of essential oil-bearing plants on scientific line has not been explored. It is pity that interspaces in the perennial plantation, vast stretches of forest and land as barren, waste and marginal are lying fallow, when they can be gainfully used to raise aromatic raw materials. The inadequate research support for the cultivation of aromatic crops and extraction of essential oils and perfumes invisible in spite of many of the institutions that undertake research on aromatic crops in India.
Yes. So it has been mentioned here that in spite of the good biodiversity, there is a wide range of the climate and soil in the country. As we have discussed in the previous lecture, that India is one of the 12 biodiversity centers of the world. Okay, so what does this biodiversity? India is one of the biodiversity hotspots. So in spite of having so much of favorable climatic conditions and the soil existing in our country, since then also there is a we are lagging behind in the cultivation of these plants. So why? There are so many stretches of forest and lands which are being barren or unfertile. They're having the low fertility in the soil, and there are so many waste and marginal areas which are lying as such. Okay, we can just gainfully use them to raise these aromatic plant materials, because some of these aromatic plants, they don't even require the fertile land. So you can start if you are having a patch of the land which is just waste, and it is being able to you are not able to grow any type of the crop there, so you can just start with these aromatic plants, particularly like vetiver is there, your khas plant, then lemongrass is there, citronella is there, palmarosa is there. So there are certain medicinal plants which can even grow in these type of barren areas. So once you start cultivating these crops, and slowly the fertility of your soil will increase, would gradually become better, and then you can just do the cultivation. So in this way we can just utilize our large stretches of the barren land fruitfully. Okay, now the major point that has been mentioned here is because of the inadequate research support for the cultivation of these aromatic crops. So that's why this area is lagging behind. And you can also, once you just cultivate these aromatic plants, you can extract the oils. So for that, you require the installation of these distillation units from where you can extract these essential oils. So nowadays there are certain institutions that are taking the research in these fields particularly. So I would be also telling you about some of the institutions which are focusing on the research in the medicinal and aromatic plant. Is it clear to all of you? If you are listening. Okay, now I'll ask Komal. Komal, are you there? Yes, Komal. Komal, am I audible to you? Kishan Raj, you just mute Komal. Kishan Raj. Kishan Raj.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
And are you able to see the slides?
Ma'am, due to network fluctuation, ma'am, sometimes it's appearing and sometimes it's not appearing, ma'am. I'm getting option to, ma'am, choose the screen.
Achha. Okay, you just leave it. Okay, Monica Sinha.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just open your webcam and read it.
Yes, ma'am. Future prospects. The future for aromatic crops, however, seems due to the following reasons. First, essential oils are now raw materials for consumers' products meant for mass consumption. At least 200 essential oils are used to often in another 805 occasional applications. Similarly, about a dozen expressed oils, a dozen flower absolutes, and absolutes expressed oils, and a dozen flower absolutes, and a few oleosinics and resin oils are also used. There is a definite trend seen in the revival of plant-based aromatic chemicals in reports from medical centers regarding the potential carcinogenic synthetics. On the other hand, aromatic plants and essentials oil freshen the environment. They also represent new resources.
Okay, Monica, thank you. So these are now we will see what are the future prospects of the aromatic crops and why we are saying that we can have a bright future if you just you follow the increase the cultivation of these aromatic crops. So as we have studied till now that these essential oils, they are being used as a basic raw material in a wide variety of the consumer related products, like you have seen in the flavor perfumery industries, in the agarbattis, disinfectants, mouthwashes, toothpaste. There's so many, the list is very long. So it has been mentioned that at least 200 essential oils are being used oftenly, and another 800 essential oils are also find the occasional applications. Now about a dozen of the expressed oils. Now what are the expressed oils? Anybody knows what is the expressed oils? Okay, nobody from the class? Expressed oils? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody has an idea about the expressed oil?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the expressed oils are actually the oils which are present in large concentration, particularly in the peels of the plant. So like I have told you, like the citrus family में जितने भी fruits हैं, like the oranges हैं, mosmees हैं, lemon है, so they have a very high concentration of these oils present in their peels. So the concentration is present to such a large extent that by just expressing it, that is by just pressing it, the peels under high pressure, you are able to extract the oils. Okay, so these are referred to those oils. Expressed oils are basically the citrus related to the citrus family, and the dozens of the flower absolutes. Now flower absolutes are those aromatic plants whose flowers are being used to extract the oil, and they are very concentrated source of the oils, and the flowers which are left behind, they are being or the semi-solid residue after you extract the oil from the aromatic plants. So whatever the semi-solid residue left behind, they also comprises that of these oleoresins and gum resins. Okay, so we would be studying in them in detail to have a topic where we would be studying about the extraction and the distillation processes. So then the picture would be more clear. So this is just like, because these aromatic plants, they are natural, they are just natural, and they don't have any side effects that has been seen in the synthetic medicines. They don't have any potential carcinogenic or the cancer causing properties which has been seen in using these synthetic materials. So that's why they are more eco-friendly, they can freshen the environment, and they are also the renewable resources. Okay, okay, now I'll ask Munmi Das. Munmi, am I audible to you? This is the last slide, just read it fast. Yes, Munmi, are you there? Okay, Naman. Sorry, Maman. Maman, are you there? Milli Rani? Milli Rani? Naman Chaudhary? Naman Chaudhary? They are not there. They have just joined the class and they are not there. Nikita Tiwari? Nikita?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am, I can see the slides.
Okay. Just read it. Open your webcam. Yes.
The aromatherapy is gaining momentum across the world, and the interest in aromatics for their therapeutic value is also increasing due to the worldwide scare of the side effects of synthetics and the revival of interest in herbs. Natural essential oils have the potential of being very safe insecticides. One good example in this regard is of the essential oil obtained from Acorus calamus, which has beta-aceron as an active principle and produces sterility among a variety of insects of either sex. It has been found very effective and safe for the storage of food grains. Apart from the above facts, essential oil crops are much better earners, and value-wise, their transportation cost is also much lower. Aromatic crops ought to get a high priority next to food. The growing and processing of aromatic crops is labor intensive and hence generates lot of employment.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Nikita. So it's been given here, like why the essential oils, they're also important. Like we have discussed that they don't have, since they are natural, so they don't have any side effects of like it's being common in the synthetics. And the another, there is given one interesting example where the essential oils, particularly there is a plant called Acorus calamus. Okay, this is a plant which is commonly being known as the Vach also in Hindi, VACH or BACH. You can also search on the Google, so you will find the Vach or the Acorus calamus. So it contains the active constituent, that is the beta-aceron. जो इसका essential oil होता है उसमें beta-aceron active principle है, तो उसकी ये property है that it acts as an insecticide, natural insecticide, and therefore how it functions is that it produces the sterility among the insects of both the sexes. Either it can be a male insect or a female insect, and doesn't have any other side effects. So it is very effective and it is safe. So that's why it is being used in the storage of the food grains. So likewise, there are so many properties that need to be exploited for these essential oils from a variety of the aromatic plants that can be used in wide variety of the areas. Okay, so apart from that, the essential oils, they are, because they are being sold at a very high good rate, they fetch the better price in the international market, so you can just earn a good amount of money. Their transportation cost is also much lower, because most of the essential these aromatic plants, they are being used to extract the oil. So oil ko store karne mein ya karne mein, it would take less space as compared to you transport the whole plant. Okay, so that's why it is being mentioned that transportation cost is also much lower. Essential oils को जब हम पढ़ेंगे अभी, GAP and GMP guidelines that are also in your syllabus, so you would be seeing कि क्या क्या storage के लिए conditions होनी चाहिए appropriate both for the medicinal and aromatic plants. So then you would be able to get the point in detail. Okay, so and the other advantage of adopting these aromatic crops cultivation is because they require a labor for their work. So it's actually a labor intensive crop, so it generates a lot of employment. So these are certain future prospects of the aromatic plant industries, which has been should be kept into the mind, in order to just so that the farmers, they could become aware about the importance of the cultivation of these aromatic plants. So with this, we finished about the introduction of the importance of the medicinal and the aromatic plants. So in the next class, we would be discussing about, I think, the classification of the medicinal plants and the aromatic plants. So I hope it's clear to all of you. Okay, so I have already shared this slides in the meeting chat and on the MS Team. I hope everybody has got it.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can download and save it for your records. Okay, and okay, students, now the time is over, so you can just leave the class, and just inform all other your classmates that those who have just joined the class and they are not attending it. So I would be just starting to take the attendance at the end of the class. Okay, after I finish my lecture, I'll just speak out the names, and those students who are not there, I would be marking the absent. So be aware, it's just not only joining the class and just roaming here and there. Just you have to be attentive, you have to listen the lecture.
Okay, ma'am.